Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Transportation Inc. This is going to be Chapter 10 of Story Mode. We're going to see what we have here, but we're going to get some new planes. So we're going to get planes for the first time. We can airports, we can buy planes, and it looks like there's two types, passenger and cargo planes. It's not separated like it was in the past here. It looks like we're going to have to buy out all of our competitors. So there's 4 total people, including me. So we have to buy out all the other ones, and we have to purchase 5 planes. I'm also assuming that we have to purchase licenses to everything at $800,000. Ooh, boy. Okay. So we have some work to do here. We get started in Texas. So we're going to start off by building a depot and just connecting a few of the Texas towns together here because it looks like they have some good stats to be able to do some really basic stuff here. And as always, we're going to go ahead and do our managers. I've gotten into the habit recently of just making sure that I buy the basic stuff required. So a depot and managers before I do anything else, just because I don't want to get stuck behind in the money game with other things, and then I can purchase the other pieces as well. Now, in a little bit different of a move, I'm going to start off with cargo stuff. Usually I almost always go with buses first, but cargo just seems like it's a pretty easy one, and we can adjust the prices to just make sure they're filled the whole time because there's lots of cargo, and hopefully that will pay off for us here in the long run. This scenario took me about an hour, it's 58 minutes from of the full recording time here to actually go through and complete and win the scenario. I'm going to speed things up here in just a moment because watching me build out the network's not all that much fun. But basically, I'm just making sure that I service all of the things that are necessary, building up the road infrastructure, and then we're going to go in and add rail. And then once we have that, we can go in and start either buying up our competition or getting planes and stuff. So here we go in our time lapse. And as this time lapse goes on, you're going to see that we just connect a couple more cities in Texas, but there's not a lot of great expansion, mainly because I just don't have the money for it. We have to split our resources between being able to buy out competitors, saving up money for planes, which just the license alone is $800,000, and the planes are incredibly expensive after that. But we do want to make sure we take advantage of some of the stuff. So you can see we have lots of vehicles going on the roads here. Pretty soon we're going to add trains in because there's a lot of cargo and people demand in some of these cities, and we can rack up money really easily just by having those few things in place. So you'll see that there's trains in areas where I don't want cars. It'll take too long, but we can go ahead and get our trains and have them all set in there, and we're going through. Now the first, we're already in year 2, almost done, and we just added on Louisiana, and pretty soon we're going to be able to purchase our first company and take it over, and that's going to give us a whole bunch more land that we're going to be able to develop and to make into further things. And here comes the purchase of our first company here. We're just going to take it over pretty quickly and easily, and then we'll be a third of the way done our buyouts. You can see we got a whole bunch of the South, not Florida for some reason, but we got everything else there all the way up to, I believe, Virginia that we have here. Oh, no, North Carolina, excuse me. But we have a lot of stuff, and I'm adding in a lot of rail because there is a lot of need for rail in these areas, and I can leave their buses alone, not interact with them or do anything with them. That company can just exist, and then I can build up the rail infrastructure to be able to afford more stuff here. And as we're doing this, we're getting more money, and we got our second company here bought out pretty quickly. So it took 4 years to be able to do 2/3 of those, and then they're pretty cheap at the beginning, so try to do them as early as possible. This one happened to be up in the Northeast, and you can see they have a lot of stuff going on there, and we're going to start exploring some other things here in a few moments. All right, here comes the moment of truth here. We've gone through and purchased our airplanes. You can see that the basic airplane for passenger planes is $3 million, and to get a bigger one, it's $6 million. And they do have different sizes. You can see one's a small, one's a large, but there we go. We purchased our first airplane. It is flying, it's doing its thing. It can only fit 30 people, and I really think short haul things are not how this game likes to go with airplanes. It really wants long haul things that can go through because I'm not making a lot of money on these flights, even though I'm able to charge a lot more than what I would for a bus service of similar capacity. It's just not a it's not a good way to make money on short flights. You got to make them longer with airplanes. It makes up the speed, and you can really transport a lot of stuff there. So you can see I'm already going up to like $70 a person for this, and the plane's still filling up fully. Well, it was filling up fully there for a second. That one did not like 70, but 65 might do it. Might even bump it down to 60. There we go. We got 63. We're able to fill up the plane, and we can fly out 63, 62, and the plane will go ahead and make its money there, and we're doing good. Also, I forgot to add on managers, so I need to make sure I do that because all the different types of vehicles, some reason, need managers, so make sure you have them for airplanes as well as your trains and your passenger vehicles. Let's get back into the time lapse here, and we added on Florida, and we're going to add a whole bunch more rail here to try to service this area. So as we build out our network here and trying to connect different places, we're also going to start adding in airplanes. Airplanes are a little funky. They require a lot more than what any of the other types of transportation require. So the regular road transportation, that's easy. Roads are connecting all the cities no matter what for the most part, unless there's water. But trains, not a big deal. They just have to be connected by tracks. Not all the cities are connected by tracks, but most are. But airplanes, most cities don't have airports. You have to have the properly sized airport, and then you also have to have demand going to wherever you want. It's not like New York is going to connect right to Chicago, for instance. The demand seems to be very randomized, and where people want to go is really different. But we're going through and adding these on here, and it really seems to want us to kind of get that taken care of so that we can go through and take a look here. Now, we've completed our airplanes, so now it's time to start buying up our competition, and we're going to handle that here in a moment. Now, instead of building out the rest of the network, I could keep adding more stuff on, but I think it really makes more sense to go in and take a look at the competition and figuring out what we need to do. The problem is the stock is super expensive. There's 6 of them I need to buy up, and right now it's 1.3. The next one's going to be 1.4, and it's going to go up. So it's going to take a long time for me to go through and be able to afford this place. Now, I had an idea that will work here, and I don't think it should. It's kind of like a cheap way of doing it, but if you're looking for a quick way to be able to end this, go get a loan. The loans in this game, once you have an established company, you can borrow a lot of money. So we're going to go over to the bank here. We're taking a look at their growth and what their value is. You can see my net worth is $42 million. Theirs is $12 million. So while I'm a lot bigger, it's still an expensive buy for us. And the bank's going to help us out with solving that problem for us. And I also just wanted to check some of the basic stats just to see where these little spikes in net worth and things come from. And a lot of it comes when they either took out a loan, you can see a spike there, where we took out a loan, or somebody purchased our stock and we got a whole bunch of money for that. You can also see they spent a whole bunch of money at one spot. Doesn't mean anything, no, but we have it there. So let's go in and just take a look, make sure there's nothing that we really need to worry about. They are located up in the northwest. They have some airplanes, so they do have 2 airplanes, but they don't have anything else really to worry about here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the bank, and we're going to borrow some money, and we're going to use that money to buy up the competition and win this level. Now, I wasn't totally positive this is going to work because there's still 4 things we need to buy. It's at $1.5, $1.6 million right now per share. And we could just wait it out and buy it up, but it's going to take a while, and I just want to get this scenario won and over with. So clicking on the bank, I'm just going to take out a $30 million loan. We'll take that out. Won't be a big deal. And then we're going to go back over to subsidiaries or for companies, buy up the stock. And the purchase price to buy the whole thing was only $2.5 million. I thought it was going to be a lot more, and there we go. We've won.